Before we begin, I need you to do one thing. Breathe. Slowly. Deeply. Just breathe. Because what you're about to hear might explain the pain you never understood, the silence you never expected, and the separation that has been haunting your heart. And I promise you this, if you stay with me until the end, your entire understanding of your heartbreak, your loneliness, your loss, your confusion will change. You'll stop blaming yourself. You'll stop questioning your worth. You'll stop asking why people left. Because the truth is, Allah didn't remove them by accident. And until today, no one ever told you the real reason. You see, there's a moment in every believer's life where Allah steps in with a wisdom you cannot see and a mercy you don't recognize yet. Sometimes that mercy feels like pain. Sometimes it feels like silence. Sometimes it feels like everything you love is slipping out of your hands with no explanation. You think you're being abandoned, but you're actually being protected. You think you're losing people, but you're actually losing danger. You think your heart is breaking, but Allah is breaking what was breaking you. There were things happening behind your back that you didn't know about. There were conversations you never heard. There were intentions you couldn't read. There were futures attached to them that your heart would not have survived. And Allah, Ar-Rahman, the most merciful, the one who loves you more than 70 mothers, couldn't let you walk into a fire that looked like light from the outside. That's why He removed them, not to punish you, but to protect you, not to break your heart, but to rebuild it, not to make you lonely, but to bring you closer to Him in a way you've never experienced before. But listen carefully. This video isn't just about them leaving. This is about something much deeper. Why Allah didn't let your heart stay where it was dying. Why He pulled you out from the arms you were begging to remain in. Why He closed the door you prayed so hard would stay open. There are answers hidden inside your pain. And today, we're going to uncover every single one of them. The confusion, the heartbreak, the silence, the sudden distance, the late night tears, the unanswered dua, the feeling of being forgotten. It all has meaning. Every part of it is threaded with divine purpose. But you will only understand if you stay with me until the very end. Because this journey, your journey, is not random. It's not meaningless. It's not punishment. It's a calling from Allah to become someone stronger, someone wiser, someone purer, someone who no longer breaks in the hands of people who were never meant to hold your heart. So don't click away. Don't scroll. Don't run from the truth your soul has been waiting to hear. Stay with me. Stay until the last breath of this video, because by the time we're done, you will finally understand why Allah removed them, what He was protecting you from, and the blessing hiding inside the heartbreak you thought would destroy you. Stay. Your healing begins now. Allah saw the pain you hid from everyone. Before you blame yourself for who left, before you question your worth, before you punish your own heart for things it never deserved, pause. There were wounds inside you that no one ever took the time to understand. You carried memories that hurt, but you never showed them to anyone. You held your breath through nights where your chest felt like it was caving in, yet you still showed the world a calm face. You gave love to people who didn't know how to hold fragile hearts. You stood by people who slowly walked away when you needed them the most. You poured loyalty into hands that were only half closed around yours, and you waited, hoped, prayed that someone would finally see what you carry inside. But while you tried to be strong for everyone else, Allah was watching you be weak in private. He saw how your smile trembled each time you pretended everything was fine. He saw the way your soul shook when someone's words pierced your chest. He saw how many times you wiped your tears quietly because you didn't want anyone to worry. You didn't realize how close you were to breaking in silence. You didn't see how much pressure your heart was under. You didn't notice how the weight you were carrying was slowly suffocating your spirit. But Allah saw it all. Every hidden tear, every suppressed cry, every moment you held pain alone because you didn't want to look weak. And before your heart collapsed beyond repair, Allah stepped in. He removed people you were too soft to walk away from. He pulled you out of connections you kept holding on to, even when they were draining your soul. He closed doors you kept begging him to keep open, because he knew those doors led straight into more heartbreak. It wasn't rejection. It wasn't punishment. It wasn't a sign that you're unlovable. It was Allah protecting you from a hurt you didn't have the strength to survive. Your heart wasn't safe in the place you wanted to stay. Your peace wasn't safe with the people you trusted. Your soul wasn't safe in the arms you kept running back to. So Allah rescued you the moment He saw your heart reaching its limit. Even when you didn't understand the rescue, He still saved you. Even when you cried for what left, He knew you were crying for something that was slowly destroying you. And one day, when your heart is healed, when your soul can breathe again, when you look back and see the truth with clearer eyes, you will whisper, "Ya Allah, thank you for protecting me from what I thought I needed." Allah removed what was slowing your soul down. Sometimes the hardest truth to accept is this: not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Some people come gently, with soft words and warm intentions, but slowly, quietly, without you noticing, they begin pulling your soul away from the path Allah wrote for you. You felt it. You felt your prayer losing its fire. You felt your heart getting heavier. You felt your peace slipping out of your hands, one tiny piece at a time. There was a version of you that used to wake up with purpose, sit with clarity, and feel close to Allah without needing a reason. But when you connected with certain people, your soul began feeling slower, duller, tired in a way you couldn't explain. It wasn't their presence that harmed you. It was what their presence did to your heart. You started lowering your standards just to keep the connection alive. You ignored the whispers inside you, telling you something felt off. You pushed away the signs Allah kept placing in front of you, warning you, protecting you, pulling you back gently. Before you drifted too far, you kept saying, "I can handle this. Maybe it's just a phase. Maybe I'm overthinking." But your soul wasn't overthinking. Your soul was suffocating. Allah saw that your heart was slowing down. Your sincerity was fading. Your energy was dropping. You weren't the same person you were before. He knew that if you stayed tied to this connection, you would lose the softness He placed inside you. You would lose the light He put in your heart. You would become someone you were never created to be. So Allah intervened. Quietly, gently, mercifully. He removed people you thought you needed because they were quietly draining you from the inside. He separated you from what dimmed your heart so He could guide you back to what brightened your soul. This wasn't a loss. This was a rescue, perhaps the biggest rescue of your life. And even though it hurts right now, one day you will understand that the separation you didn't want was the protection you desperately needed. Allah knew their future would hurt you more than their absence. You're crying over the ending, but Allah ended it because He saw the future you didn't. You judged people by their words, their smiles, their temporary care, their soft moments, but Allah judged them by what was inside their hearts. You saw who they were today. Allah saw who they were becoming. You saw their calmness. Allah saw the chaos they were heading toward. You saw the version they showed you. Allah saw the version they hid from everyone. There were things coming that your heart wasn't prepared for, changes that would have broken you, truths that would have crushed your spirit, wounds you were not strong enough to heal from. Allah knew that if you stayed connected, The love would not stay this soft. The conversations would not stay this gentle. The bond would not stay this comforting. There were storms ahead that your heart would not survive. So before you reached the fire, Allah pulled you away from the spark. Allah protected you from heartbreaks that were still being formed. He protected you from disappointments you would have blamed yourself for. He protected you from endings that would have shattered your identity in ways you're not even aware of yet. You wanted a lifetime with someone who wouldn't even recognize the person they were about to become, and Allah, in His mercy, said no, so you wouldn't have to face the kind of pain that takes years to recover from. You think you lost a person, but Allah removed a disaster. You think you were abandoned, but Allah redirected you. You think the story ended early, but Allah ended it at the perfect moment, before it destroyed the parts of you He wanted to protect. And one day soon, you will look back with clarity and whisper, "Ya Allah, thank you for stopping what I was too blind to see. Thank you for saving me from a heartbreak I wouldn't have survived." Because sometimes the greatest blessing is not what Allah gives, it's what He takes away. Allah didn't let you build your life around someone temporary. Sometimes you planned your whole life around someone who was never written to stay. You built dreams with them quietly in your heart. You imagined a future where everything finally made sense. You pictured walking through life with them, side by side, hand in hand, heart to heart, believing that this connection was the beginning of something permanent. And you held on to that story so tightly that you didn't notice how temporary this person was in the eyes of Allah. You gave them a home in your heart, even when Allah never wrote them to be part of your lifetime. You trusted their presence, you trusted their intentions, you trusted their words, but you forgot to ask whether Allah trusted them with your heart. You built your expectations on them, you leaned on them, you relied on them to bring you peace, comfort, validation, a sense of belonging. But your soul forgot one truth: anything you build around someone temporary will eventually fall. Allah knew this. He knew you were placing pieces of your heart in hands that wouldn't be able to carry them forever. He knew you were tying your stability to someone whose role in your life was only meant to be a chapter, not the entire book. So He stopped it. He didn't let the story go further, because He didn't want your entire life to depend on someone who wasn't strong enough to protect your heart. He didn't let you build a future on a soul that wasn't meant to grow with you, because if Allah allowed you to continue, your whole identity would have wrapped itself around someone who could never hold it safely. He removed them because He didn't want your happiness attached to something unstable. He removed them because He didn't want your future tied to someone who wasn't written to stay. He removed them because He didn't want you to collapse later from a foundation that was always going to break. Yes, it hurts now. Yes, it feels unfair. Yes, you feel abandoned. But one day, you will look back at this empty space and realize this wasn't punishment. This wasn't loss. This wasn't rejection. This was Allah saying, "I'm building something better for you." This person wasn't enough to carry your destiny. You deserve someone who will stay. And when Allah replaces what He removed, you will understand why the departure had to happen exactly the way it did. Allah removed them because they took your heart for granted. There were moments where you gave more love than you received. You offered more loyalty than you ever got back. You showed up with sincerity while they showed up with convenience. You tried. You cared. You carried the relationship on your shoulders, even on the days it exhausted you. And still, it was never enough for them. They took your presence for granted, as if your heart had no limits, as if your patience had no breaking point, as if your loyalty meant you would never leave, even when you were hurting silently. Allah watched everything they overlooked. He watched how easily they dismissed your feelings. He watched how your kindness was met with coldness. He watched how your softness was treated like weakness. You kept giving because you believed that one day they would finally understand your worth. But Allah saw that they were walking deeper into your life, while treating your heart more lightly with every step. So Allah stepped in. He removed them, not because you didn't deserve them, but because you deserved much more than what they were giving. He removed them because your heart was being damaged by the very hands you trusted. He removed them because they kept breaking you, and you kept forgiving them until your soul was becoming numb. He removed them because the longer they stayed, the smaller you became in your own eyes. Allah doesn't allow anyone to keep mistreating a heart He created with such care. So He said, "This heart is mine before it is yours. This soul carries a light I placed inside. This servant of mine deserves peace, not pain." And so He took them away to remind you, your worth is not in someone's approval. Your value is not in someone's presence. Your identity is not in someone's love. Your worth was written by the one who created the universe, not by someone who couldn't even appreciate your sincerity. And when Allah takes someone away who never valued you, He is making space for someone who will. The person who will see your heart as a responsibility, not a convenience. The person who will treat your presence as a blessing, not an option. The person who will protect your soul instead of draining it. One day, when Allah replaces what He removed, you will look back and whisper, "Ya Allah, thank you for showing me my worth by removing those who couldn't see it." Allah removed them so you could return to Him fully. There are moments in your life when everything becomes quiet, too quiet. The people you loved become distant. The conversations you depended on disappear. The faces you were used to seeing slowly fade into the background. At first, it feels like punishment. It feels like loss. It feels like you are being pushed into a loneliness you never asked for. But what if that loneliness is not something being taken from you, but something being given to you? What if the silence you are sitting in is Allah calling you closer in a way He never could, when you were distracted by people? You see, when your heart attaches too deeply to someone, your soul slowly forgets its real home. You begin leaning on the creation more than the Creator. You begin expecting comfort from people before expecting it from the one who created comfort itself. And Allah, in His mercy, cannot let your heart belong to someone who cannot carry it. So He removes the distraction. He removes the temporary attachment. He removes the noise, the faces, the voices that were slowly taking you away from Him. Not because He wants to hurt you, but because He wants to heal you. If that person stayed in your life, you would keep turning to them. Every time your heart trembled, you would keep seeking answers in someone whose wisdom ends where Allah's begins. You would keep placing your trust, your hope, your comfort in hands that were never meant to hold something as sacred as your soul. So Allah does what only He, the most loving, the most protective, the most merciful, can do. He removes them. He removes the person so He can return you to Himself. He removes the attachment that was slowly weakening you. He removes the distraction that made you forget who you are. He removes the comfort that was keeping you away from the real comfort. The comfort of sujood, the comfort of His words, the comfort of knowing that the one who controls the universe also controls the healing of your heart. You think their absence is empty space, but in reality, Allah cleared that space so He could sit with you there. You think losing them created silence, but Allah filled that silence with a message only your soul can hear. The pain you're feeling right now is not the pain of being left behind. It's the pain of being pulled back to where your heart was always supposed to be, closer to Allah, closer to truth, closer to peace. You didn't lose them. You didn't lose a future. You didn't lose love. You lost a distraction that was blocking you from the love of Allah. And when Allah wants you back, He brings you back gently, quietly, beautifully, through silence, through space, through heartbreak, through moments where you sit alone and say, Ya Allah, I need you. That moment, that whisper, that return is worth more than every person Allah ever removed from your life. Because now your heart is learning how to rely on the one who never leaves, how to trust the one who never disappoints, how to love the one whose love does not come and go based on mood, emotion, or circumstance. This is not loneliness. This is realignment. This is your soul being guided back to the only place it was ever meant to rest, in the remembrance of Allah. And one day, when you feel whole again, when your iman rises again, when your heart feels safe again, you will look back and say, Ya Allah, thank you for removing what I was holding, so you could give me what I needed. If you've made it all the way to this moment, then understand something deeply. You didn't just watch this video, you were guided through it, because everything you heard, every line that touched your heart, every truth that made you pause, every sentence that felt like it was written specifically for you, that wasn't an accident. Your pain wasn't random. Your separation wasn't a coincidence. Your heartbreak wasn't a mistake. It was Allah, quietly, gently, lovingly, rewriting the direction of your life while you were too hurt to see the wisdom behind it. You didn't lose anything that was meant to stay, and nothing that left you ever took with it what Allah wrote for your soul. What you lost was the weight Allah didn't want you to carry. What you lost was the danger He didn't want you to face. What you lost was a chapter that would have dimmed your light and damaged your future in ways you still don't understand. You have no idea how many heartbreaks Allah saved you from, how many nights He protected you from crying over a person you begged Him to keep, how many tears He prevented by ending something you were forcing to continue. But now, look at your heart. It's bruised, yes, but it's beating again. It's tired, yes, but it's learning to breathe again. It's lonely, yes, but it's being rebuilt by the one who never abandons His servants. And the beautiful thing about Allah is this: He never takes something from you without preparing something better in return. Better for your faith, better for your peace, better for your future, better for your soul. So tonight, before you sleep, place your hand over your heart and whisper softly, Ya Allah, I surrender. You know what I don't. You see what I cannot. And I trust the story you are writing for me. Because the truth is, if they were meant to stay, nothing could have removed them. But because Allah removed them, nothing could have made them stay. Your heart wasn't safe there. That's why Allah pulled you out. And now, after all the pain, after all the questions, after all the tears, you're finally in a place where Allah can give you the peace you were always searching for. Stay close to Him, talk to Him, cry to Him, rely on Him, because the one who removed them is the same one who will heal you, protect you, and send you the people who are written to honor your soul instead of break it. Your story isn't ending here. Your story is beginning here, with Allah, with clarity, with peace, with healing, with a heart finally safe in the hands of the one who never lets go.